Todd, one of the best,
Game 1, time in, 0-0.
cleanest ball strikers we've got on tour. So Paris right there from South Florida will get us started. Let's play pickleball.
Point.
I mean, Lacy was doing box jumps to get ready. It hurt me just watching her do that. She is so explosive, and I hope to see some of that court coverage in this match.
1-0.
That's just too good from Paris. So and we also see Paris again standing well behind the baseline to serve here, Adam.
And her third shot frequencies are going to be a big point of emphasis in this match. How often will she drive and look for the rolls as well? Well, that's in between. I think that was in between a drive and a roll, but in Minnesota, she really went to that roll shot pretty frequently, especially on the forehand side, actually. So want to see what her strategy is coming into this tough match.
Side out.
So great start for Todd. Scheemann gets the ball back.
0-3.
Lacy also a twin. Ooh, good leave. Sometimes your great movement can get you in trouble there. A lot of people wouldn't even get near it. Good leave from Lacy, originally from Texas, so I'm sure she's happy to be back playing here. And
yeah, pretty good control of the kitchen line up until that last volley after some nice shots from Paris Todd. I like Lacy's little between the legs setup before the serve.
Yeah, the John Isner-esque if you are a tennis fan out there. I mean, it's remarkable how she can get a paddle on things with ease on a ball that was not easy to get to.
And a clean winner on top of that on the full stretch.
1-3.
Beautiful job pulling that down the line, and you talked about how whippy it is, but when it's on, it is trouble.
Not much to read, and a great decision with that first volley floating up is to make sure to hit a forehand. So good footwork from Scheemann, not to go on the weaker wing, the backhand side, and crush that big forehand.
Side out.
Little wind-aided cross-court, almost a winner.
Yeah, didn't strike it perfectly, a little wind, and it turned out to be the perfect shot.
Oh, bad luck for Lacy there. She has done a nice job of coming forward aggressively here, Adam.
Yeah, and I do not believe she'll stop. She probably comes in at one of the higher frequencies of female singles players out there. Yeah, she doesn't have one of those higher end tennis backgrounds. She quality tennis player, played club tennis at USC, but some of these players with their ground stroke, she doesn't want to get in that battle from the back of the court.
Point.
Ow, Lacy. Ow, careful. Okay.
Yeah,
that's not a problem for her, but I'm just saying if it was me, that would be an absolute disaster right there.
Timeout receiver, 6-2.
Everyone has a rhythm, everyone has a cadence in different ways, and I really like that, to be consistent with it in between points.
That's just pretty from Paris, and a little of that fire came out. We saw a lot of that against Davidze in the final, and she's another motivated player within 2 points of taking a title up in Minnesota.
And one of the few times we've seen Paris Todd coming forward in this match. She's content to hang out back there with this comfortable lead, but Lacy gave her something to move forward on, and Lacy looked to stay back as well. So they're tinkering a little bit out there, and we'll continue to monitor.
Yeah, that first volley she hit was
8-2.
unbelievable to be the first time up there. Oh, the little head fake from Lacy Scheemann, running the little 4-yard out cut to get the first down. Watch this. This is beautiful.
Yeah, I'm going to hold. I'm going to hold. No, I'm not. I'm going to break to the open court at the perfect time.
2-8.
So advance forward, and Scheemann was up to the task.
A lot of cushion for Paris Todd right now. So yeah, I'd still expect her to stay back at a pretty high clip with the score line.
Yeah, and that backhand volley has just not been consistent enough so far for Lacy. So Paris knows what comebacks look like. She was down 9-1 to Leah Jansen up in Minnesota in the third and came roaring back and almost pulled off a similar miracle in the final.
That's a nice ball on the full run from Lacy Scheemann.
Again, the high backhand, that time pacing down in depth. That's everything you want.
Yeah, and that one was great, but a nice job by Paris finding the backhand on a high percentage of the first volleys. Everyone knows how dangerous that Scheemann forehand can be.
Side out.
We'll blame Mother Nature for that.
I think that's exactly what we should do.
It's a gust.
Maybe slightly ahead of herself, looking to move forward, but probably a little combination of the two.
8-4.
And just forget it there, and a little fist pump for Lacy. So another player that, if she can get some of that fire going, it's really helpful. She's a lady that did very well in MLP.
She did, and I mentioned that forehand volley. You saw it on the last point.
Yeah.
Unless you can end the point, you want to try to avoid that side of the court when she steps forward.
Point.
And that was a perfect example of, she had a chance to end the point with the backhand, couldn't get it over the tape, but Scheemann coming forward well to the left of the center line, kind of baiting her into going to that forehand side.
Yep. Timeout receiver, 5-8.
Yeah.
To put in Paris Todd's ear to possibly close out game one.
He's seen a few matches.
A few, yes, a few.
Just filthy from Lacy Scheemann.
On the short hop, and a controlled backhand volley to set up the forehand. And it was not an easy forehand, but a clean winner nonetheless.
There's that athleticism paying off in a big way. She's within 2. She's within 1 on the big serve, and what a pushback from Lacy.
Yeah, paint that back line on the serve, and a nice little fist pump too. She's got some real momentum here.
Until the little clever thing between the legs went skittering off.
It went south quick for her.
Shoot, I dropped a battery on the ground. I got to go pick it up. Wow, that is really unlucky. Great approach from Lacy. That's 2 of those that have, and she's channeling her inner Colin Johns right now. It happens.
8-7. Point.
First clean pass in a while from Paris. Really stepped into that one.
She did. And I love that. I mean, that is one solid step forward. All her momentum, her good technique is always going to be there. Really struck well.
Point. Game
Yeah,
point.
big swat at that was probably not necessary, and we are at a game point.
10-7.
And Paris Todd emphatically closes out game number 1. She's pushed.
The official ball of the PPA Tour.
Welcome back, everybody. Paris Todd gets game number 1 here. Let's see if Lacy can continue the second half of game 1 momentum. The beginning not good. The rest of it was very even.
Game 2, time in, 0-0.
So here we go. She gets the ball first. And that's how I wish I would have hit it.
Yeah, just getting reps in the middle of the match.
No one said how you have to get the ball back to your opponent.
That's a good eye, and stayed back for 1, and then came forward. But for me, for Scheemann, it is all about the first volley. She is clearly going to come forward. Not only her court positioning, we want it to be tight to the kitchen line, but directionally and the depth of that first volley is going to be the key to game 2.
Wow, what a little off-speed roller. That was pretty.
It was very, very good, Dave, and short approach shot for Scheemann made it a bit easier for Paris Todd.
I'm talking about spinning the ball. That's nice. Okay, see, this is what we all do. Ooh, I was so good with the last spinner. I'm going to do it again right here.
Paris, rip that thing. you don't roll twice in a row, especially inside out. Rip it.
0-0.
That
was a cocktail. That took off.
Yeah, it did. And you know, sometimes when you're in a hurry to get forward, you flub that footwork and contact point, and that's what we saw there. Got to stay balanced through the zone.
Both players hesitate. Paris then decides, why not? I'm going forward. Worked out.
Yeah, and you see Paris coming forward to the left of the center line. That's from where the ball was, over in that forehand corner of Scheemann. So they don't just approach up the middle of the court always. It depends on where their approach shot is.
Point.
And just cray bounce right there.
Dave, you were hip with the times. You just throw it in, and I love to see it.
2-0.
That's sick. That is ridiculous to go body and then get your footwork right at him. Come on.
And she obviously loves to step in, but even on the back foot, she can come up with the goods.
Lacy's like, there's no, wow, that's on the line.
You can see her, she kind of cocked her head like, dang it, how does that stay in?
Great start for Todd.
Point.
Yeah, I mean, you can
Timeout
just see
receiver,
that ball move from a low.
And I love that. I don't care what the scoreboard is. She's going to do that every time.
Point.
And I actually like her carving that ball short. It just, you know, obviously it made the mistake in the net, but I think the shot selection was a good one for Scheemann.
5-0. Point.
Ruh-roh.
Yeah, that's the snowball effect. 1 and 2 can turn to 4 or 5 pretty quickly, and against this quality of opponent,
6-0.
Can't let that happen.
That's a good response from Lacy Scheemann. So can that be that little spark? We saw it in game one. She has it.
Yeah, she's got some passes as well. We've been talking about the passing shots of Paris Todd, but Scheemann can do it on the backhand side as well.
There you go, just deep on the return.
And 2 staybacks off of serve for Scheemann. So maybe she, instead of coming forward as aggressively as she has been, find a different strategy and see if that works. And the approach too good. But Paris hasn't come forward that much in this match. So I kind of like it from Scheemann. She hasn't been just hitting 2 or 3 volleys every point. So bring her forward, see what happens, and maybe you can get some errors and some pass attempts.
That just exploded.
Yeah, that's the first volley that I want to see from Scheemann.
1-6.
Oh dear. Yeah, and she finally got Paris to not have the stroke she wanted, and Paris hit that ball head high. Scheemann has got to maybe not put it away, but better than that attempt.
Even the footwork could have been a forehand there. That is absolutely fantastic from Lacy Scheemann.
Sideline to sideline, and not poor shots from Paris Todd, but Scheemann coming up with the goods.
Man, facing almost away from the net. That's really impressive.
What a shot from Paris Todd. The top spin drop shot after a phenomenal stab slice from Lacy Scheemann.
That's what you want them to do to you. And then what happened? Paris hasn't been coming forward much, but when she has been brilliant at the kitchen line.
Yeah, scratch what I said about not coming forward and maybe flubbing a few volleys up there as Paris Todd staying back or coming forward, really on point.
Yeah, and you saw Lacy got there with ease again. Just volley percentage has not been where it needs to be to beat Todd.
I can tell.
I think the call on the volley is out, so this is a point for Paris. I don't know if Lacy's challenging or not.
Okay, I see.
Singles to go. Todd getting ready here, up 8-1. Body, then pass.
Yeah, and a couple quality middle shots from both players, and then Paris to find that angle from the middle of the court is just so good.
Silly.
9-1. Point.
Airmail there, and we are at match point for Paris Todd.
10-1.
And ropes it down the line. Paris Todd is a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, and I love Lacy Scheemann, but I think she was going to need a bit of a dip in level from Paris, and Paris did not give her one throughout this match.
Paris Todd absolutely firing away in that one. Lacy making a small push in the beginning of game one. You took a timeout. I think it was 5-8. What were you saying to yourself?
I was just trying to stay in the moment. She got a few points there. She got a little hot, so I just wanted to kind of switch the momentum a little bit. And, I mean, Lacy's such a great player. This wind out here, it's tough, so everyone's just doing the best that they can.
Tell me about this serve. You're standing far off the baseline. A couple people are talking about it. You may have talked about it before, but tell us why that is.
I've been doing that for about a year now, but actually I learned that from Ryan Cherry, and I'm sure he'd be really happy I'm giving him a shout out right now, but he likes to stand further back off the line, and he just said it gives him a little bit more time, so I started doing it, and now I'm really comfortable with it, so I just feel like I have more time from back there.
Well, you've been in some massive moments throughout your time in pickleball. You ended up in the final just last week, came up a little short. What are you going to do to make it all the way here this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, Salome, she played great last week. It was a really good battle, a really good fight, but I'm definitely hungry. I don't want to stop here, so I want to keep going, and I want to get a title.